good, Commanders family? Brian Coble Jr. here, and this is Free Agent Fridays. Next up on Free Agent Friday, we got a defensive end.
What's up, my
guy?
guy?
Boy from the Bay out here. Well, really, he's from Richmond, Virginia, but we had him in the Bay for a little bit. Our new base fan, Clelin Ferrell. Clelin, thank you for your time, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. What's going on, y'all?
Yes,
Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Like I said, you're from Richmond, VA, man. Welcome back to the DMV, first of all. You put pen to paper today.
Yeah.
How's it feel to be back in Washington?
Man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It feels good, but it still really hasn't set in yet. You know, probably for my family for sure though. Like my family, you know, moms. I'm the youngest of 9 kids.
Wow.
So, so my mom or all my sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, they really like, oh, it's time, like we excited. But me, I'm kind of still in the work mode. I'm just trying to focus on everything getting moved over because I had a long trip over here. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I just want to get with the guys and get ready to go to work.
And man, and we're excited to have you. And somebody I know that's super excited, you were talking about it, is your grandmother.
Yeah.
Man, you said something really cool about she's never gotten to go to one of your games.
Never.
Man, talk about what that's going to be like, getting to have her at one of your games for the first time. You've had a pretty long career so far.
You know, I'm telling you, listen, it's still, and she's still probably a little bit iffy, but she gonna come.
We gonna make sure she good.
Because you gotta accommodate for everything.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
she gonna want it. You know, she not big on cold weather, especially out for hours.
Right,
so
yeah.
I gotta accommodate for everything. So you know, I'm gonna make sure it's all set up nice so she can just come and just watch a good game and watch her grandbaby turn up.
Yeah,
That's
man. Have her pull up to an October game or earlier.
Oh.
That's when the weather's still okay,
you know what I'm
man. You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
That'd be the problem right there. The outside, you know, for the ladies, they don't want to sit outside too
Exactly.
much. I understand it.
I get it. Me too. I don't want to sit outside either, man. Let me tell you, bro. So now you're here, man. You're in Washington, and you have a guy like Dan Quinn, who was known as a defensive-minded coach. What about his style made you say, you know what, this is the right fit for me in my career?
You know, I think, you know, and I'm just being in the league and being a fan of the league. You know, Dan Quinn is somebody whose name has always rung bells in the league, just from his mind as a defensive standpoint. I went to Clemson, so I played with guys like, I didn't play with them, but guys that I looked up to when I came into college was a Vic Beasley, a Grady Jarrett, and Dan was coaching them in Atlanta when they had went to the Super Bowl and obviously had that tough game against the Patriots. But so I've always been a big fan of Dan Quinn and just kind of his mindset, because I feel like, especially in today's game, too many coaches, and even players, they play things too safe. And I'm really big on guys that's not afraid to go get it, take chances, and they more so focusing on winning, not so much focused on trying not to lose. So a guy like that, I can always get behind. And even, you know, you can see it just with the guys that he's bringing in. Like, the time is now. And that's what I tell people right now. Like, me growing up in this area, if you know this area, like, these people are really get behind somebody that's really, you know, trying to stand on what they on that's really fighting for something and fighting for them. I'll never forget. I'm taking out the story.
No, you good.
The first NFL game I went to was that year. It was RG3 rookie year when they went to the playoff.
Oh,
game.
wow.
Yeah, but that was one of the first times where I really saw, like, you know, and they were the Redskins back then, but where the whole organization had not just, you know, the players, but they had the whole DMV, they had DC, Maryland, Virginia, the fans, everybody was just so excited, you know, because it was like, oh, no, we really turning things around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
For me to be a part of something like this, and especially in a place to where I feel like where I know I have a special connection to, man, it's major. It's major.
So did you grow up a Washington fan? Like,
I did. You know what? I was the only one in my family that wasn't a Washington fan.
Yeah?
I was so big on Ray Lewis. I was a Baltimore Raven fan.
Wow. Okay, at least you stay close to the DMV.
Nah,
we'll take it.
I promise you. But I never was a hater though. I always was a fan. But the Ravens was my favorite. But I always loved it. I always loved this team. I always loved Washington.
And now you the biggest fan, right? Now you here
I mean,
now,
yeah, now
and
I'm
the
an
fans
employee.
love you.
Now I'm an employee. You're right. It's look at God.
Yes, sir.
You can't change it.
Yes, sir. So, and it's not just Dan Quinn who you're going to be able to work under. Daryl Tapley, who you have a relationship with out in San Fran. What about that relationship with him made you be like, okay, man, this is the place to be? And also, you have experience with this. This is a whole new look defensive line.
Yeah.
What can we expect from a defensive line that's coached by a guy like Tap?
Man, starting out with, you know, just with Tap, me and his relationship, you know, he's from Virginia as well. And when I went out to San Fran, he was a major piece for me because obviously it was a big deal, and it was the biggest thing, especially when you're somewhere new, which is what it's going to be for everybody here. All these new players that we have, it's about buying in, and it's hard to buy in and really believe something kind of when you don't see it off top. But when your relationship with somebody, you can really, you know, you can kind of put your own perspective and things to the side and say, you know what, I'm gonna just trust this guy. And I ain't gonna lie, it worked out for me. You know, we went to the Super Bowl, we lost, but at the same time, in this business, it's so hard to win. So when you get to the pinnacle and you really can see it, that's like, oh, there is another side. Like, you actually can win. You actually can be consistent. Like, you can really go into a game and be like, nah, we really about to win. Like, I ain't worried about, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir. That's
really been wild. And I think just for, not just the D-line group, but for this team in general, what do I expect? That's the biggest thing. And I don't expect anything. I want to earn. It's really about earning everything. And that's why I tell guys all the time, people ask me, since I got signed, like, how does this team feel about, moving forward? And, do our guys worry about, just the history or whatnot? And I tell people all the time, like, this team, this group of guys, we haven't lost or won a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
This team, we haven't done anything yet.
Clean slate.
And that's the best part, right? Everybody can, the best time to write a book is when the pages is blank, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I like that.
So I think that's the biggest thing that you can really buy into. You can do whatever you want. And of course it's going to be, it's going to be ups and downs, but that's what makes a great story. So I feel like just having that opportunity, I just want to bring a type of mentality to where I've seen what it takes to get to where we want to be. We play this game to win. I've seen what it takes to get to a Super Bowl. So I just feel like from my standpoint, not expecting things, but I just need to bring it every single day just with my mentality, my mindset, and earning the respect of my peers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fame and all that cool, but, if your peers respect you and how you play, I can live with it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's a man's game.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Most opinions about other stuff don't really matter.
Yes, sir.
The guy beside you, like, nah, like, that's one of them dudes right there, or we got a good group, that's all that really matter.
Yeah, we love hearing you say that because we've heard Dan Quinn and Adam Peters talk so much about building a championship culture. And like you said, you've been to the Super Bowl. Didn't get to play in the Super Bowl, you had an injury, but you were part of that. You helped build that championship culture within that locker room.
Yeah.
What can you do to help bring that culture to Washington's locker room and help these young guys develop into that?
I think number one, it starts just in the locker room and just being around the guys. That's just going to be initially. I'm sure as we go on this journey, it's going to be different things or whatnot because every team is different. So it's going to be different obstacles there where I could really implement. But number one is going to start with just your mindset. At the end of the day, you can say anything about somebody, but it's really about how somebody go about their work every single day.
For sure.
I tell people this all the time, like, people say, like, what's the NFL like? Like, is it like a family? And for me, one of my old coaches, the NFL is a brotherhood, not so much like a family. You know what I mean? So, a family aspect, you have a baby that's in the family. We'll bring the baby along, we got to raise them.
Right.
We got to raise them, right? A brotherhood is different. A brotherhood is more so like those war times.
For sure.
If you was a soldier in the military, right? You would love the man you going to war with. I don't care how much I like you. If you don't know how to do your job right, you probably should go ahead and get up over there.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing, man. At the end of the day, it starts about the way you work, the way you go about yourself. Do you have a won't be denied mentality? Because that's what it's going to take, right? It's not easy. Playing in the NFC East, like, this is one of the most historic, tradition-based, like, divisions in all of sports, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, 4 great fan bases, and just, obviously, it's a little bit more for me because I'm from this area, so I know what it means to, put that jersey on, I feel like, in a sense, right? So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. You talk about your brothers holding each other accountable, but I'm sure as a professional athlete that gets to this level, you hold yourself accountable as well. And, we talk about that Super Bowl, and you had to watch it from the sidelines being hurt. Did that put a chip on your shoulder, man? Did that make you feel like, I still got more to prove here and actually be on this field when this Super Bowl comes next time?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was one of the toughest things as a player you ever had to deal with, because especially somebody like me, where I feel like, anybody who feel like they had the chance to play and it feels like, man, like, you just could, maybe if I would have been there, we could have just,
Right.
But regardless of the fact, man, I just think it's a blessing, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Even the outcome, I feel like it's gonna set the course for the second half of my career, man, because getting to that point was all I needed to see. My time with the Raiders was a great time, and I loved the organization at the Raiders. I even, got it tattooed on me, but that was a different thing where I was really more so maturing as a man. Because on the field, we didn't have that much success. And then it was like, how do you balance that? So, last year going to the 49ers and really seeing like, oh man, like, you can really do this. Like, you can be playing well, and your team can be good. If you just get the right group of guys, the right combination, and people to buy into the right thing, like, it's no limit.
Yeah.
So I think I think I'm just really, really excited for another chance at it.
Yeah, man, we're really excited to have you because it's not every day you get a top 5 pick to come to your team and sign here. And that's what you were.
Yeah.
You dealt with those expectations, those doubts, those limits that people put on you. Do they say, you know what, you're a top 5 pick, you got to do this. You got to be this type of player. And we have a top pick coming in, whoever that may be.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to that person dealing with all those expectations, all those responsibilities that come with being that franchise cornerstone? What advice would you give to them?
I think, yeah, for sure. And it's a big deal. I feel like a lot of guys, and I don't say this in the wrong way, like personally, it's always a bigger deal to yourself. You can always make things seem bigger than what they are, meaning like, yes, top 5 pick, yes, you know, expectations or whatnot from so-and-so people, but from the outside looking in, you know, being a veteran in this league now, like I tell guys all the time, like, don't worry too much about the expectations of what people say or anything. Just because, you know, even amongst your peers in the league, we don't really care where you got drafted. And most guys don't know nobody in the draft.
Right.
No, for real. You know, most guys don't know nobody in the draft. So it's really just the aspect of understanding that, you know, this is only one step, and the second you get drafted, that's all that is over. Like, people don't look at that anymore. So it's going to be all really just about focusing and locking in on what you need to focus on and maintaining what you need to control, which is your play, which is, you know, how you take care of yourself, and not getting caught up in being on the IG and being in the social media age so much. So I think it's an experience for everybody, but just embrace it, man, because you're a young man, but it's a part of growing up through life.
For sure.
What I mean? You're going to have your ups and downs. And I tell, and especially to all my young guys, like, everybody wants to live like a great, you know, we all want to live a great life, right? But you can't ask God for a great life and not expect the great challenges or the great times of adversity. You know what I mean? Because every story you ever seen, any great movie you ever seen, there was always, you know, a climax and a bottom out where you saw the troublesomes, and you saw them overcoming it. So that's the biggest thing. I feel like, you know, don't run from it. You know, invite adversity. It's gonna be good for you.
We love that, man. We love that. And man, we know you, like you said, you're not really tapped into social media like that. You're not really trying to focus on it. You're trying to focus on the play.
Yeah.
But what we do for you is we go and find the fans that want to ask you questions and talk to you. And that's something we do to end Free Agent Friday, is ask a fan question. You cool with that?
Yeah.
The Nightwing, 63. Describe the excitement behind starting with a brand new organization.
Ooh.
Great question to end with.
You know what? Okay, the excitement. It's always, because it's my second time. No, it's my third time, because even when you get drafted, you know what? It's always super, super nerve-wracking. It's really exciting. The hardest thing is learning everybody's name. People don't understand. People don't really know how many people work with an NFL team.
For sure.
They don't really know. And you be, oh yeah, and I'm like, God dang, like, I really like this person. I just can't remember, you know what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong, like, I'm an employee, so on a micro scale, like, it's super cool, but it just takes time. Like, I'm just really like, okay, let me just get into the swing of things. That's my thing. But from an excitement level, man, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Like, new jerseys, new anything, just fresh practice with new teammates. That's the best part when you get around your teammates, because people don't know, like, it's a lot of things players go through, and players get real, real close when they in the locker room with them guys. You know what I mean? Because this lifestyle brings, you know, I would just say different circumstances that not many people, you know, are used to, especially when you involve the money and you involve the outside, like the fame or the media or whatnot. So it's really, really cool, man. I love it. I love it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, man, we're so excited to have you here.
Yeah.
I have no doubt you'll learn these people's names, but I know for a fact our Commanders family is going to know your name very, very soon if they don't already. Clelin, thank you so much for your time, man. We know you got a lot of work to get to. Commanders family, thank you so much for your questions. Keep leaving your questions in the comments. We will have free agents for you every Friday that we can. Clelin, appreciate your time, brother.
You,
Commanders family, until next time, this is Free Agent Fridays.
You know.